in the Room podcast to talk about his world featherweight title fight at CES 70 on September 9th is Dan Dubuque. What's up, my friend? It's been a long time, bro.
What's up, bro?
I'm doing great, man. Nothing much is up with me as far as fighting, except a lot's been up with you, man. You got a great fight on your hands, man. Let's talk about how excited you are to get back in there and fight for that title.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pumped for the opportunity. Obviously, the last time I fought for it against Bruce, I lost a split decision. Definitely fight could have gone either way. I definitely thought I had it, and I've been itching to get the opportunity. I really didn't think I was gonna get it off, what I've done over the past couple of years, inactivity and whatever else, COVID, you name it. But I'm it's going to just keep being a fighter, and I think that, there's certain people turn the fight down. So if it's going to fall in my lap, I'm not going to turn it down.
Now, you mentioned just now that the fight, some people turned it down. How long, did you put your name in the hat? Was he offered to you? How'd this fight get matched up?
No, that's the thing. I think there's a little confusion. I think he is a little upset or something. I don't know. He said a few things. I don't know. I don't get involved in that. I don't do trash talking and stuff like that. I respect him. I've trained with him before. Um, all it was I didn't even know if I was going to fight again, to be honest. I've been dealing with injuries, but I trained really smart for this fight camp, and I did more recovery wise than I've ever done, and it's definitely been helping. I feel great. But what happened was, Carlos, my manager, he just hit me up out of the blue, pretty much like they're looking for somebody for Nat Ghareeb, and he said it's for the title. Honestly, if it was not for the title, I would say no to it, because we trained before it, and like I said, I respect him, and we've had conversations. I thought we were cool enough to where, like, I wouldn't really, he wouldn't be a guy that I'd really want to fight if the stakes weren't so high. It just really wouldn't be worth it for me. But like I said, dude, fighters fight, man. I can't preach that and then go and turn down these fights, and that's just I think he's good everywhere, and I think it's going to be a challenge. That's what I'm in here for. Like, this isn't my life. This isn't my career. I do a lot of things outside the cage, and I have a career, but I still work my fucking ass off. Don't get me wrong. I train all the time. But the fact is that this isn't my entire life, right? I just love it. So I love to just step in there and get challenges. I don't want to just go in there against some bum, even though I've been dealing with injuries and a few losses in a row. I don't want to just go in there and beat up on some bum just to pad my record and make me feel better about myself and give my ego a pat on the back. He's super good, super skilled everywhere, and that's why I like this fight. Again, it has nothing to do with him personally. I like him, I respect him, but just I could not pass up this opportunity.
Excellent. And what an opportunity is, bro. Like you said, you fought for that before. I believe it was over 3 years ago, back in
Yeah.
May or so of 2019, went against Bruce Boyington. At that point, well, it's been over 3 years. Dan, when you fought there, I know Bruce was a champ, but they were really high on you because you were fighting kind of in your backyard. You're gonna have a
Yeah.
lot of eyes on that matchup and stuff. It seems like now we're going back. It's the other way around. Now I think they're bringing Nate up as the prospect as
Yeah.
CES, because he's fought for him a ton of times in the last year, a couple of years. So is that the feeling you're getting? And what's the thought on there? Going in there to spoil the party, or just have fun because you're a fighter?
I mean, I don't think they're even trying to hide that, the fact that they're trying to build him up. I think I'm being brought in there to kind of be that type of journeyman that's going to be push Nate into the UFC or whatever, push him to the Contender Series. But I mean, you just watch any of my fights. I'm one of the toughest in New England. I don't get involved in who's the best, or am I the best this, the best that, or whatever else. I don't care about any of that. But when you talk about some of the some of the toughest fighters in New England, I have to be in that mention, because I just fight tough guy after tough guy. Most of them are decisions, so we're constantly grinding it out. And this isn't going to be an easy fight for him. I'm his toughest fight. I don't think that's. I think if you just look at it, that's just fair. Look at who he's fought. I don't think that is an understatement.
Now, you mentioned that you trained with Nate in the past. I do believe you were getting some cross training on the FAA. Is that where you might have trained with him, or was he coming to
Right.
gyms you were at?
We both trained at FAA at Nick Newell's gym.
All right, so
I still train there a few times a week. So, yeah, that's where we got some sparring rounds in a few times.
okay, so it's been a while, I imagine, since some of them sparring. He's been on Fight Pass a bunch of times since then. You've probably seen, you're watching footage on him to get ready for this fight, because he has to be a completely different fighter, I would imagine, from when you were training with him. What are you seeing out of the kid now, now that he's kind of in the mainstream and, one of those CES guys?
I mean, we probably sparred 2 months ago.
Oh, really?
I mean, yeah, like right before, or whatever, 3 months ago. I don't even know. Right before his last fight, I think he came to FAA like two weeks in a row that I was there. We got a few rounds. So it was actually very recent. I think that might also have been why he felt some type of way. I guess I don't blame him, but yeah, we got some rounds in not too long ago. But yeah, of course I've watched his fights, and even before I was when he fought, I'm rooting for him. I want him to win. And especially after training with him a few times, I want him to do well. As I do, most guys that come to the gym or that I cross train with. But I'm looking for fun fights, looking for challenges, and this popped up again. It's about the opportunity. It's not about the guy.
Well, Dan, you're fresh off, the injuries that you repaired. COVID. A lot has gone around in your life. You've got married during this time, so there's a lot been going on, man. What have you seen? Has anything really changed in, what you've seen as far as MMA since, you've had this break?
Well, I think we've talked about it before, and I've posted statuses. I mean, I don't think it's. I think the game changed quite a bit. I think I'm one of the last OGs. I don't even feel like an OG really, but one of the last ones that is going out there and just fought a gauntlet of tough guy after tough guy, winning records, short notice, up weight, down weight. There's not many people that do that. I have wins at 3 different weight classes. I have wins at 5 different weights because of catch weights. I've took a bunch of short notice fights. People don't do that anymore. People are trying to build themselves to the UFC. To the UFC. In a way, you can't blame them, but I don't like when it gets to be too much Conor McGregor type stuff. Like everyone doesn't need to talk trash, and if you beat up on a bum, you don't get the right. This isn't geared towards me. I'm just saying in general with certain people. I think there's a lot of people that get overconfident because they beat up on cans. I think I don't want to fucking start drama with specific individuals, so I'm not going to call out anybody, but that's the type of game. It's not try to be the best in New England or try to challenge yourself or whatever. It's try to get to UFC, try to get to contender by taking it an easier road. So that's the game. That's how I see the game is today, and I've taken a lot of wear and tear with the fights I've done, and training I've done, and constantly banging out and sparring and shit like that. I was from the days when, dude, we used to just come into the gym and fight 3 times a week. And I was one of the smaller guys, not as good back then. Like, dude, I used to get my fucking face smashed in. You know what I mean? But I just keep showing up, and started to slowly become, one of the hammer, if you will. Not to the fullest, because I still get Nick beats me up, Nick Newell. But just in that sense, it's a different game. It's a lot more, taking care of your body and smart training. The game's evolved in a way, and that's probably better for all these fighters, younger fighters, longevity, and for getting to the higher levels and getting bigger paydays for sure. But that's just not why I'm in the game. I'm in it for fun fights, challenging fights, and on the regional scene, for people to come to the shows and get their money's worth, get a good fight, not just see me go and smash some Jay Ellis's 15 and 100 face in 32 seconds, and then take 50% of all my friends' money on ticket sales or something like that. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
not. I don't fucking care about the money at all. I don't care about any. I don't care about. I don't even really care about belts, dude. It's just the opportunity was here, and like I said, it's just a salty taste. If I had beat Bruce, lost a couple more, and then now it's Nate. Now Nate's coming up. Would I fight? Would I fought him? I don't even know. Maybe not. But just losing a split decision, being that close, plus it changing the huge trajectory too. Like I was 8-2. If I win that fight, now I'm 9-2. I probably, I'm either right there at the UFC or contender or maybe one fight away. 9-2 is a big, huge difference from what ended up happening over the course of the next couple of fights. Lose a split decision to Brendan Marat too. Feel like that was questionable. All respect to Bruce, all respect to Brendan, but I don't feel like I lost either of those fights. So this time around, I'm definitely gonna try to put more pace and try to make sure that I don't leave it such a questionable, such a close fight.
Well, a couple more questions, Dan, before I let you get going.
Yeah.
One is going back to how you talked about challengings, getting fights and not taking like easy roads to this path. You got some fighters under your wing now that you're coaching and you're bringing along, and they're fighting at the MMA amateur level. You got one in Mike Antidormi, Mike Motts. That kid's making waves. He just came away with going up a weight class, winning a big fight. He's 3-0. And you're doing it. You're having these kids fight tough fights, man, and it's feeding. It's feeding the crowds, and these kids are going to be huge prospects, man. What do you see in your little corral? How many kids do you have under you? Is it many? Is it just Mike? What's going on in that side of the ball game?
Well, I teach a Muay Thai class, and we do some MMA that it's not a formal class, but I work with some guys, and there's a few that we get some work in, but nobody's as serious as Mike is about it. A few of the guys have fought some Muay Thai fights and had some great success, so I hope they can, they stick with it. But we'll see on that end. Right now, the main focus is Mike, and the kid's a fucking stud. I mean, he works his ass off, and he's just like a much better version of me. Like for him, there's no ceiling. He could go as far as he wants. He keeps putting in the work and doing what he does. I think he's shown already in not that much time that that how good he is. He's fucking good everywhere. He's. I mean, like I said, the sky's the limit for him.
Excellent, my
So.
man. Well, one more question two more questions. One more question is, do you get more nervous cornering him and, other fighters, maybe fighting Muay Thai fighters, or are you more nervous when you go in the cage?
uh, Way more nervous when I'm cornering because you have no control over it, and you don't know how people are going to react to certain things. Like one of my, obviously my some of my strong points, my cardio, my toughness, whatever. But also I'm always very calm in there, even when I'm in bad positions. I'm in bad positions a lot, way too often, way up more often than I should be in some of these fights, And like I think Manny Bermudez had me on like 27 different submissions in the 3-round fight that we had. But it doesn't. I don't really feel. I still feel calm. It's weird. I don't really feel that. I'm able to stay calm. It's the opposite. I'm freaking out when my guys are fighting, Mike's fighting, especially. And I have all the confidence in the world in all of them, and especially Mike. But you just never know. So you have no control over it. So yeah, it's way worse when you're cornering someone because you're so invested in them too. Like I want him to do well. Like I want to win so bad, and I've put in so much work over the years. But I put my time in with Mike, and he puts a lot of time in, and I want to see that. I want to see that pay off. So it's like you never know how a loss is going to affect somebody in this sport. You get such high highs and low lows, and I just like it's like having a little brother. I don't want to. I want to be protective of him. Like I don't want him to feel. I don't even want him to ever feel a loss. I
Yeah.
broke a bunch. I hate. It's the fucking worst feeling ever. So it's like I just want to. I want him to be successful. So definitely a lot more pressure. I feel like in the corner.
Excellent. Well, dude, it's been over 3 years since you in that CES cage. It's a different venue, but another huge venue, bro. Mass Mutual Center. As far as that, bro, are you gonna expect it to have a ton of people like you did in Hartford?
Yeah, I definitely got a good amount. Probably not as much as Hartford. And one of my boys Stags is that night too, so that's gonna hurt a little bit. But we'll meet up with them and party after. But yeah, I still I only have a few tickets left, and people have been buying online too. So I'll definitely have a good crowd. I'm sure he will too. And I mean, the fucking card is stacked, so the place should be bananas.
Excellent. Well, with that said, Dan, last question. What do we expect to see out of Dan Dubuque after 3 years back in that CES cage fighting for that world featherweight title?
The same thing that I always bring, man. Just because I haven't been fighting, that doesn't mean I was just sitting at home. I'm always running. If I'm not training, I'm working my cardio, lifting, doing whatever. Like I always stay in shape. That's why I could always take fights on short notice. You know, it's no secret. I like to eat. I like to party, but I'll wake up off drinking till 3, 4 a.m. and I'll go for a 3, 5, 7 mile run. Like I just mentally, I always have to be in some type of shape and some type of ready for whatever. So my cardio is going to be there. My the same things I bring, the toughness, and I think it's going to be a really really fun, entertaining fight. I can't wait for it.
Excellent. The fans can't either, bro. New England's going to be looking. We're going to have a new CES featherweight champion, and what happens after that, we'll get a word. But with that said, Dan, man, great catching up with you. I'll see you at the fights. I'll be there. I'm sure I'll run into Mike. I'll have a word with him, and have a safe rest of the camp, man. We got under a week to go. So Dan, shout outs, anything you want to say? I know you're not big on social media, so if you have any of that, throw it out there to sell the last of them tickets.
Yeah, no, I'm just even through losses, a lot of times people will, oh well, this person did this wrong and this person. I got the same people around me. I have old training partners that been hitting me up for this fight camp that I haven't even talked to, and probably before COVID, but now that they saw I got serious for this fight, because we went our separate ways because of certain gyms closed and whatnot. But I still stay in touch with so many people that I've been training with for 10 fucking years, and which is like that's pretty special. So I got the same people in my corner, the same people that I train with, and I didn't change nothing. So same family, same friends, same teammates, and all I have for social media is Facebook, my name, and I don't use it much, as you know. I'm just not a social media guy. So, but yeah, that's it, man. I can't wait.
All right, my man. Well, again, pleasure, bro. Thanks for giving me the time. Fight week is a couple of days away. And man, all the power to you, bro. Great matchup. It's going to be entertaining. You guys are both killers in there. And man, it'll be great to see the outcome of that. So with that said, Dan, you have a fabulous night, and thank you for the time again.
You too, bro. Thank you. You're my guy, man.
All right, my man.
Appreciate it.